Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing the first video from my high concept horror series. So for these we are going to take a non-horror topic and put a horror spin on it. And for this video in particular, we are taking 20 plus horror characters and sorting them into the Hogwarts houses from Harry Potter. So another stipulation I had to kind of just even things out and make it a little bit more interesting, I wanted to put 5 different archetypes into each of these houses, and those things are going to be final girls, final guys, experts, authority figures, and villains. So for Gryffindor, people that are sorted into this house are brave, daring, courageous. They have hearts of gold. They care about defending their friends. They're not afraid to run toward the danger, and they try to fight for justice. So for the final girl for Gryffindor, I chose Sydney Prescott from the Scream franchise. I think that she is such a good example of a Gryffindor. She is very brave, and she had to be even prior to the events of the first movie. And all throughout the first movie, when she comes across Ghostface, she does her best to try to take them down. She doesn't just cower. She's going to try to take them down with her if she has to. And so I think that she is really perfect for this spot. So the final guy that I chose would be Tommy Jarvis from the Friday the 13th franchise. He is certainly a brave character. He took down Jason Voorhees as a child in the final chapter. But what really puts him in Gryffindor for me would be what happens in Jason Lives. So in this one, it's just bothering him so much, wondering about Jason in his grave. So he has to go check it out and see that he's still in there. But by doing so, he set the course of events for the movie by resurrecting him, and that obviously had major consequences. And he kind of reminds me of Harry Potter himself a little bit, because in Order of the Phoenix, Harry is kind of put in a similar situation where he puts a lot of people into danger, and there's consequences for that as well. So for the expert that I chose here, I chose a duo of Ed and Lorraine Warren from the Conjuring universe. They are definitely portrayed to have hearts of gold in these movies, and they are definitely not afraid to run toward the danger if it means that they can help the families that are going through the different situations throughout these different movies. And I think there's definitely times that each of them don't want the other to be going into the situation, whether it be that they're just scared, or it could be for one of them's health as well. And for our authority figure for this house, I chose Mrs. Gandy from Weapons. She is definitely the newest one that I have in this list from the newest film. And she is definitely a flawed character, and you'll know that if you have seen this movie, but she is unfairly treated. Definitely, it seems like the whole town really hates her for what happened to the children in her class, but she very much cares about all of those kids, and she is not afraid to put herself in harm's way to try to solve that mystery. So for the villain that I chose for Gryffindor, I picked John Kramer from the Saw franchise. Now, he is someone who was terminally ill and was kind of backstabbed by the healthcare profession. So he kind of tries to enact his own twisted form of justice onto people, I think, as a result of that. So moving on to Hufflepuff House, people that get sorted into this one are very loyal, hardworking, determined, they are selfless, and they have a strong moral compass. So the final girl that I chose for this house is Sienna Shaw from the Terrifier franchise. I think that she is a very selfless character. She, was probably under the impression that she was just a normal teenage girl, but she seemingly is the only one who can really take down Art the Clown, and she definitely rose to that occasion well. I think that she also embodies the hardworking part of this, from the fact that she took a character that her father made for her and really brought it to fruition in her Halloween costume. So the final guy that I chose for this house is Eben Olsen from the movie 30 Days of Night. So he is another one that is a selfless character. He's definitely got a strong moral compass, considering he's a sheriff, and he is very concerned with keeping his family safe and keeping everyone that's in the town safe from the threat of the vampires, and he definitely puts himself into harm's way as a result of trying to keep all those people safe. So the expert that I chose for this house is Elise Rainier from the Insidious franchise. I think that Elise is kind of similar to the Warrens in that she will go and try to help families that are going through some kind of paranormal strife. And she is not afraid to put herself in harm's way as long as she can try to help those others. And she just is a very positive part of a kind of dark franchise. So for our authority figure, I chose Deputy So-and-so from the Sinister movies. He might be one of my favorite, if not my favorite, law enforcement officer in all of horror. I think that he is some good comic relief in another pretty dark film, and he is very determined to try to figure out what is going on and stop anything else from occurring. And I know that people don't really like the second Sinister because it is definitely a downgrade from the first one, but I think that he's by far the best part of that film. So for our villain, for Hufflepuff, I chose Daniel Robitaille from the Candyman franchise. He is definitely a tragic character who went through something unspeakable prior to the events of the film. And he is very patient, and it's kind of a different type of villain since he basically has to be summoned before he can go after anyone, but he does have that determination and will wait as long as it takes for someone to say his name 5 times. So moving on to Ravenclaw House, and if anyone was wondering, that is the house that I am sorted into. Leave me a comment down below because I would really love to know what house you are sorted into if you have taken the quiz to find out. But people in Ravenclaw House are intelligent, they are very creative, they are open-minded, introverted, and they're not afraid to be unique. So for the final girl, I chose Laurie Strode from the Halloween franchise. She is known to be a bookworm, especially in that first movie since she's still in school at that point. And she does seem to be a little bit more shy and introverted overall. but she definitely uses her wit to go against Michael throughout the course of this franchise. And then for a final guy, I chose Chris Washington from Get Out. He is a very creative character. He is a good photographer. He has a good eye, apparently. And I think that he is very introspective and calm throughout this film. And he definitely uses his wit to get a leg up on the antagonists of the film. So for our expert, I have another duo, and that would be the Frog Brothers from the Lost Boys franchise. I adore the Frog Brothers still to this day. They are just like some of my idols in horror, that's for sure. Other than the very end of this film, where you find out that there was one more character that totally knew what was going on throughout the movie, it seemed as though the Frog Brothers were the only ones that were privy to what was going on, and they definitely used their knowledge to try to help the Emersons. So for our authority figure, I chose Father Gordon from the Conjuring franchise. I think that he is a very intelligent character in his own right, and he can definitely tell when something is going wrong as far as like hauntings or possessions go. But what really puts him in this house for me is just the fact that the Warrens go to him when they get evidence from a different haunting that they're dealing with, and he's the one who will take that to the church and will be able to convince the church to get involved and start helping that family. So for the villain for this house, I chose Hannibal Lecter from the Hannibal franchise. When I think of an intelligent villain, he is definitely the first name that comes to mind. He is iconic, and it's just that level of intelligence that really makes him so. And I think that he uses his wit to get in a better situation, especially in Silence of the Lambs, when he is trying to escape. And I think another big part of that is just how expertly he was portrayed by Anthony Hopkins. So for the final house, we have Slytherin. And this one was actually the easiest for me to get everyone sorted into, which I wasn't expecting, but I was pleasantly surprised by that. So people that are sorted into Slytherin are ambitious, they're cunning, adaptable, they are concerned about self-preservation, and they want to achieve their goals through strategy, and they are also natural leaders. So for the final girl, I chose Maxine Minks from the X trilogy. I think that she is very ambitious. She wants to be famous and is going to do whatever she needs to do to get to that spot. Yeah, she took an interesting route to achieve that, but whatever needs done, she was going to do that, and she's not going to accept anything less than exactly what she wants. So the final guy that I chose is Bill Denbrough from all of the different It adaptations. I think that he is a wonderful leader to the Losers Club. When the Losers Club is fighting amongst themselves, they know that Bill will be the one that can rein everybody back in, get everyone on the same page so they can unite and go against Pennywise. He's also very ambitious in his adult life, since he is a writer that was successful enough to have his works adapted to the screen. So for the expert in this house, I chose maybe the best placed Slytherin that I could think of, and that is Gale Weathers from the Scream franchise. She is the epitome of a Slytherin. She is highly ambitious. She does have a love interest in Dewey throughout most of these movies, and she does care about him a lot, but if there is some way that she can better herself, even if that means, moving away to do it, she's not afraid to do so, so she can further her own career. And she is a bit of a leader as well. I think that you see that with how she is with Debbie Salt in the second movie, as well as Jennifer in the third. She wrote the book on this, and she's not going to let you forget it. So for our authority figure for Slytherin, I chose Dr. Loomis from the Halloween franchise. I think that he is also a good leader. I feel like there's definitely someone following around him throughout all the movies that he's in this franchise. I think that people are just drawn to him. And he is definitely a strategist. He always has some kind of an idea of how to take on Michael and try to get everyone in a safer situation. So for the villain for this house, I chose Rose the Hat from Dr. Sleep. I thought that she would be perfect for this since she is the leader of the True Knot. She is formidable and very resourceful. She's cunning, and she will do whatever she needs to protect the True Knot and make sure they're fed. So what did you think of this video? I had such a good time preparing for it. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of hard work though, but I'm not opposed to doing that if it's a concept that I'm really passionate about. Let me know down below if you would have put any of these people into different houses than I did, or if you have other ideas of different horror characters that could go in some of the different houses. I would love to have discussions about all of that stuff. And leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't yet for more horror content. I just want to thank all of my supporters that I've had this far. It definitely makes an impact on me. It means a lot. My name is Devin. This is Carpenter Hill. Thanks for watching.